About 4 years ago, I did my first monitor review of the LG 34-inch ultrawide. Along with that, I did a video of the on-screen control software that's proven pretty popular. It's got about 160,000 views on it right now. Got a notice from YouTube that I had uploaded that video 4 years ago and it was popular. And it made me realize that I never updated and did a video of the new version of on-screen control. So you can launch the software here through a icon on your desktop that installs. You can see that you get the normal split screen options here, screen split as it calls it. If you click one of them, it gives you the bounding boxes in red. So that's a single full screen, two screen split with kind of a gutter or sidebar on the side, and then an even split vertically, horizontally, and then a 3-screen split here where you have the vertical split and then the left-hand side is split again. And then that kind of rotates where the left split is on the left, right, bottom, and top. And then with a 3-screen split, evenly vertical, 4-screen split, and then picture-in-picture with it rotating through the different areas there. One thing that LG has improved or added is that you can now control a bunch of the features, your most common features, that you would normally have to go into the on-screen menu, the GUI within the monitor, to adjust, either using the little joystick or now the remote control. So you can go in and select the picture mode. You can adjust the brightness. It does give you the numbers here, the contrast, set the orientation. You can do a monitor software update from here. One note is that on this panel, if you're connecting video through USB Type-C, you have to have a separate cable hooked up, and you actually will need to connect video through an alternate source and use the USB Type-C for the data transfer, and then adjust everything back. You can't do the video and the data through the same USB Type-C connection. And then you can have it notify you of the monitor software itself, the on-screen control, needing an update. You can do presets by application, and then you can adjust the game mode with the response time and the black stabilizer. So before we dive into the screen split stuff itself, show you here in the system tray. If you right click on the on-screen control, you can open the software from here. Select different LG monitors if you have more than one hooked up. Display orientation, landscape, portrait, and then both flipped. And then you can highlight and pick the screen split options here. Just took it full screen there. So I'll use this to open the software. And then full screen, it's actually not maximizing to a full screen. It simply is essentially off at that point. So you can see here I'm moving this window around and it's not making it snap to the large full screen. Now if I do this one here, you can see that that one pops there, and I can take the WSGF and move it, say, here. You can adjust these. You can grab and drag and it adjusts. And if I grab this window, you can see that it has adjusted the bounding box itself. So again, you can go vertical, horizontal, make any adjustments you want. With the 3-screen split, let me put this window there, grab this one, bring it down here. That you'll notice when you adjust the screen split preset, it doesn't automatically reshuffle all your windows. You'll have to do that. So I can take Spotify here and I can snap it in this bounding box. And then if I want, I can come in and adjust like that, give myself sort of a right gutter or right sidebar there. I would say obviously one of the common things you would want to use the picture-in-picture for is to play video. So I'll go ahead and sort of leave a average size window here, close that. Now if I take Netflix and I drop it in that bounding box, one of the difficulties is that it's still a browser, so you have a fair amount of tabs and things up here that you could turn off, but it's still leaving you a fair amount of dead space there. If you try to play, and then you say, well, I'll go full screen in that bounding box. When you go full screen, it goes fully full screen, so that doesn't work. So notice a similar kind of thing if I use, say, VLC to watch video. If I drag it here, There's still a fair amount of dead space. Now I could adjust this window here, and I could go to the minimal interface. That's better, but not quite perfect. I did notice or look in using the Windows player here. So I'll show you this. So I had adjusted this window here. When you click this redo, it readjusts your window size. So with this footage I captured out of Hyperlight Drifter, you can see with the Windows Movie and TV app, if you view something there, there's very, very little interface, and actually looks almost like a hardware picture-in-picture. So while Netflix via browser doesn't look great, if you download the Windows App Store app, it actually looks pretty good. So you can see here what the full interface looks like. If you bring up a show there, and if you play it, you can see that there's very little dead space once the interface goes away, once I click off of it. And again, it's pretty close to a hardware picture-in-picture. So a really good job there. Now you can, again, grab and adjust this if you wanted to get it a little tighter. If you just wanted a smaller window up there while you're working, you can make it smaller. You can make it bigger if you want. And then all you gotta do is click that button to reset. Although you do have to re-drag your application in there. LG's done a great job with the software. Again, this is the virtual window management. So if you use the picture by picture and you have, say, you have it split horizontally. So you have 3840 by 1080 and two different devices, then you can arrange windows on each of those things how you want and do the virtual screen split how you want, as long as you have the on-screen control software loaded on both devices. So really good job with LG with the new version of this software, being able to control the on-screen items in the on-screen display. And if you use the picture-by-picture functionality and say you have two devices set up, as long as they're both running the on-screen control, you can set up your virtual window management on those two devices independently.